My guest today is about to perform at 54 Below. She is doing a new show called Decades of Diva. She has won multiple jazz awards all over the world. She performed in The Bodyguard and also It's a Wonderful World, the music of Louis Armstrong. We are with the incomparable and majorly talented Nicole Henry.
Very
Nicole,
sweet. Thank you for that intro.
This new show.
I'm excited.
Who is your favorite diva?
Oh my goodness, that's the hard tip. I must have 20, I've realized, because I had to narrow it down to about 13, actually 14, because we have a couple medleys in there. But my favorite diva, I'm torn. It's like Nancy Wilson or Dionne Warwick. I mean, I love Whitney Houston, but I have a show for Whitney, so I guess if I just had to say divas, Shirley Bassey's fierce too.
Oh, I love Shirley Bassey.
But I probably know more Dionne and Nancy.
Did you do any Cleo Lane?
No, I probably sing some songs that she does, but I kind of stuck in the lane that I know of divas, which is more on the pop side, a little on the jazz side. There's no Patti LuPone in here, which my friend, I thought he was going to die when I told him there was no Patti. but yeah, there's so many divas out there, and in doing the research for this.
Did you choose from just one genre, like jazz, or did you also go into pop and musical theater?
I went into pop. I went into the 50s jazz, some of the 30s blues and jazz, some of the original, like Bessie Smith, who was kind of like one of the first women to tell it like it is, which is one of my definitions of a diva,
Any Diana Washington?
Oh, see, I've done another show. I did a show in 2014 called Definitively Diva, and it was really a lot more in that jazz world. Okay. So there was Sarah, there was Ella, there was more Nancy. So no Diana this show, no Sarah even, who is the divine. But it's, again,
yes,
the show that I mentioned does say, where do you begin? Where do you start? So
nice.
So there's even Tina Turner in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a few.
Wait, where do I begin? Where do I start? Isn't that a song by Diana Ross?
Where do I begin? That's
the
love story. That's Shirley Bassey.
Oh yes, I remember that song.
I don't want to give away too much, but yes, that is it. That's yeah.
If you had to choose a song,
yes,
or series of songs,
okay,
that describes who Nicole Henry is, what would they be?
I would definitely add a little of theatrics in it, like whether it be You Can Have Him, I Don't Want Him, or a Shirley Bassey tune, that's a Nancy, that I learned from Nancy, but it's from You Can Have Him, I Don't Want Him, Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
I can't remember the musical, but something like that. That sounds right.
Wait, it's a musical?
You can have him, I don't want him. He's not worth fighting for. Besides, there are plenty more.
I don't think I know this song.
Okay, that's a fun one.
Oh my
You Can Have Him. Nancy did a version of it, and then I went back and learned that it was from a wonderful musical, but a wonderful production.
I'm so surprised I don't know this.
But you know what song is great too that Shirley did and Nancy did? So again, dramatic is The Greatest Story of My Life, or The Greatest Performance of My Life. Tonight, I gave the greatest performance of my life. That one is fun. And then I would probably do a soul tune, maybe something like Shaka. And then I would do a pop soul tune, probably more along the lines of Whitney Houston.
See, I'm a big Fifth Dimension girl.
Oh, see, once
Stone
we begin.
Soul Picnic.
Sure. She's still doing it. Oh goodness.
I know, I would just say you're saying, and I can't believe I can't even remember it. It'll come to me sometime.
All of a sudden I have the other divas in my mind, but not McCoo, Marilyn.
Oh, Marilyn
McCoo. She's fabulous.
Yes. What haven't you done in your career that you would like to do?
More film. I did a few short films and one full feature-length film that I starred in back in college. Wow. It was a student film, but it went to full production and DVD.
Nice.
That back in the day, DVDs. So more film, maybe more TV. I've never really done a lot of any kind of regular TV. I've hosted a television show on PBS and our WLRN in Miami, which I love. Give me a teleprompter, I can go. I'll be happy to go anywhere. So a little bit of that, and I also would love to write more, not only songs but maybe stories. So I'm trying to find some time this summer to steal
during
away.
COVID, what did you do?
I have no idea, but I did not rest. I did a lot of like streaming. I did a lot during COVID, and I'm just one of those
So did
people
I.
that don't. Yeah, I don't sit still.
I wanted to sit still, and I did for about 3 weeks because I was
Right.
so tired. And I was like, oh, good, I get to
I-
nap.
I
and
thought-
I took a really long nap.
Yeah, I talk about that in my show sometimes. I say, you know, there was like a couple 10-hour rests, so I did sleep and I dreamed
like
well.
days.
Good for you.
I was like, I'm tired, I'm sleeping.
Good for you. And we all thought it was just 3 weeks, right?
You know, because I own a newspaper that covers Times Square, where everybody was fearful and staying in, no, I was walking the
No.
streets
Oh yeah. No, well,
and taking pictures.
Beautiful.
But it was kind of like the Twilight
Yes.
Zone meets Outer Limits.
Good
so
description. It was
weird.
It was definitely something else. You know, we're not going to, hopefully there won't be a lot of people who can say that they lived, you know, that they experienced a pandemic, but it was quite an experience. I was living in New York, and then I happened to be in Miami working on A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong story.
Yes.
And because they were doing it for the first time, it was the debut of that piece. And when COVID hit, we were just about to open. It was about to be opening night. Everybody has those stories. But I happened to be in Miami. Thank God my lease was running out at the end of April, so in New York. So I was able to,
you were able to
pack
get
up.
out?
I was able to get out. So I was in Miami. I was in Miami doing that production. I just stayed there.
Oh, okay.
Since I used to live there, now live there again. I stayed in. Yes, I was outside a lot.
Because
in Miami.
I moved out of the city because they moved the homeless into the hotels, and I had been hit by a cab, so they were picking off the people.
Yeah.
But I lost all my furniture and everything because there were no moving companies to get it anywhere.
I didn't think
So
about
I
that.
kind of started all over again in a weird way.
Wow. And interestingly, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that. I did manage to get a moving company to put all my stuff
That's
in
impressive.
storage for me.
There was no storage places, there was no moving trucks, there was no nothing.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of stuff.
Wow. Wow.
And
We
you
all
know,
lost
the
a
funny
lot,
thing
I
is
know.
there's this amazing song called "It's Amazing the Things That Float," and it's all about this person who loses things in a flood. And I was like, "Yep,
Oh, wow.
this is now my song."
Yeah. No, and it's interesting when we let go, whether it's have to or do let go of things where we find ourselves and how we find ourselves. You know?
Hey, my cat survived, so that was the good thing.
Thank God. Yeah. Good.
Because I could just see Hamlet on a raft going, "Yeah, come get me now." He would not be in a happy mode.
Things that float. That's interesting.
What is happening with It's a Wonderful World?
To my best knowledge, they've done 2 other productions in Chicago and in New Orleans, which was their objective, because the show is actually set between 4 cities. Yes, New Orleans, Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York. So they did knock out 2 of those. And to my best knowledge, they're coming to do some, I guess, showcases of the production at 54 Below.
Oh, really?
Sometime soon. So, yes,
Oh,
and then
will we see you
hopefully
in this?
going to. Not to my knowledge, but because I'm more doing my, and let's see, I would say when they went to New Orleans, they kind of revamped about 75% of the cast.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not in that one, but I'm still in touch with a couple of the actors and the director. He lives on South Beach, so we've had lunch, and it was a fantastic production. So I'm looking forward to
I'm
seeing.
actually looking forward to seeing this.
I loved the original versions of it, so I haven't seen it since they revamped it. I can only hope that they've done, tightened it up or, made it more poignant. I hope they didn't lose the punch that it had. It's the dancing, so I wish them luck. Great team, choreography.
Now, if you could play any role, or is there any role in a show that you would love to take on that you haven't had a chance to?
Well, I just last April had a chance to perform in The Color Purple
did?
as Suge Avery.
Oh.
I would love to do that again. Other than that, I think I would like to have, to be honest with you, I actually enjoy more straight plays as far as being an actress. I enjoy drama and comedy. So I would like to do more straight productions, meaning not
Is
musicals.
there an author that you'd like to work
Oh,
with?
well, Arthur Miller. There's so many. Like I'm in a couple weeks, or is it this Thursday? I think this Thursday or next Tuesday, I'm going to go see the Nuns, the production on 40.
Doubt.
That I did a scene
like
from
that production, actually.
Oh, good. I did a scene from that in my acting class, and I loved playing that. I love scene work. I love drama. So if I can find I've done The Bodyguard. I
Right.
did
I saw you do The
Smokey
Bodyguard.
Joe's Cafe. That's right. So that's where we. I've done Smokey Joe's Cafe. So I've been in a few roles that I think are right for me as far as musicals go. I mean, sure there'd be more, but I would really like to do more straight plays. And I anything that's movie, I love it all. I really love it all. And then I also love like TV sitcoms. So I said,
do
more,
love
yeah, like goofy stuff.
I love
So-
binging on it like really late at
You're
night because
better-
I'm normally working really late.
Okay.
And I need to
So
clear
then-
my head. And it's the best way to
It is.
What did I just watch? Selling Beverly Hills?
Oh, how fun. Oh, okay. No, I don't know that one. There's so much work out there. There's so much work, I say. Look at it at work. There's so many great productions and great stories out there. So it's fun. It's fun.
But I like mindless TV when I'm trying to
Okay.
clear my head.
Okay.
Like if I don't have to think, that's a really good thing.
Got it. See, I can't, I don't allow myself to do enough mindless stuff. So when I do watch, I'm like, all right, what's the deepest thing
See,
I
I
can get
have
into?
to
I
be-
want to study our actors. I want to study dialogue.
No, I have to watch mindless
good for
because
you.
my brain is constantly talking,
Mm-hmm.
and I need
Understood.
those moments where it shuts up. And in mindless TV, it shuts up.
Understood. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You've done 8 albums.
Yes.
Do you have a 9th one coming?
I'm working on it now, and that's going to be some original music, which I'm
Oh,
very
nice.
thrilled about. And it's also a challenge because, of course, one of the reasons that singers like myself do cover songs, do cover material, is because we love telling a great story.
Yeah.
And when they're great and they're already there, it makes it easier. But then we can reinterpret it, whether it be jazz or any song. I mean, on my last album I did James Taylor, Joan Armatrading, Stevie Wonder, Buffy St. Marie. So
Nice.
I kind of, and then a handful of jazz tunes too. So it's challenging because I want the songs to be, not perfect, but great songs that actually move me, and I don't like anything stock. So it's going to be a fun challenge, but truly starting in April, and my schedule opens up, and it's like April, May, June. I really look forward to creating that 9th CD, like a cat 9
Do you
lives.
find that when you hear a song that's been done, you want to put your own stamp to it? Like you hear it differently than what it was sung like?
Yes, and I think it reflects who I am not as a person, because I don't think I'm stubborn, but I'm hard-headed when it comes to like, don't tell me what to do,
Mm-hmm.
So, and my mom told me a couple weeks ago, she goes, oh yeah, you would be walking around, because I was the youngest, and you're not the boss of me, so when I hear songs that I love, I like to listen to them 1 or 2 times, and I know I'm going to cover them. I like to listen to them 1 or 2 times, and then I like to get the chord, the lead sheet,
Progressions, yeah.
have my pianist or a guitarist play it just solo, and then I like to create my own way of telling the story.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of how all of my songs go. I try to make sure, kind of like acting, I try to make sure that my character, Nicole, that's whose voice I hear telling the story with cover songs. So I try my best to not make it sound exactly like the original.
I don't know how to.
Sure.
And this has been ever since I was a little kid. My very first Tony Award, Leslie Uggams was winning and singing Hallelujah Baby.
Oh,
And
I just
it
missed her.
became one of my audition songs, that song actually.
Fun.
And
Fun.
I saw the show maybe 5, 6 years ago at the York, and I was so excited because I'd never really seen the show.
Right.
And I realized I changed that song and made it my own.
There you go.
Way back then.
There you go.
And I'm like,
Oh.
I was stunned. I was like,
That
wait,
you
that's
did
not how
that.
the song goes. And they're like,
Isn't
no, it
that
is.
interesting?
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yes. It's fun when you kind of like, oh, that's my voice coming out. And it is
I didn't even
interesting.
think of it. It's like,
Right.
that's just how I heard it.
Right. Isn't
A lot
that
of
fun?
times I hear my version.
And I think, and again, I called it being hard-headed, but I think that's all of us, you know, whether it be lyrics to songs that we don't know and we just make them up. But it's like religion. Everybody hears maybe the same or reads the same thing, but everybody has their own religion, really. What applies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And music is a religion.
It kind of is, because it's helping us tell our story and find our feelings and express and be understood, and we're all individual. Yeah. So.
Well, I always tell people, I don't go to therapy, I write music. And it's true, I do. Or I'll write a story.
That's beautiful. No,
You know, why do you need therapy when you can do it yourself?
That's fantastic. It really is.
In the Diva show,
Mm-hmm.
what would you like people to take away from that show?
Fun, just to remember how incredible, what incredible careers these women had. You know, I mean, I have to stop myself. As I go through the dialogue and what I'm going to talk about on stage, but I want to run down every person's career. You know, like, okay, this person was in 15 movies, and this person put out X amount.
Do you do that?
You know, I'm going to say that about some of the artists, because it's just like, oh wow, yeah, that's right. She did do this, and she did do this. So I mean, and that's what I want people to remember, is like, wow, I forgot how amazing her career was, and how much of her music I loved.
You know, it's interesting.
And how powerful they are.
That this is Her Story Month.
That's right. I did. Yep. That's
But
right.
if you think of
March.
all the ways that women have excelled, no way and in no place better than music.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, you know, you think of Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra, but when you think of the amount of women
It's true.
that were writing and performing and changing the way we thought, I mean, Dusty Springfield,
Yes. Joni Mitchell.
yeah, Carole King.
Yes.
Carole King wrote the Monkey songs now. Who knew that?
I did.
I
not.
didn't until I saw Beautiful.
Oh, you know what? And that's actually a show I haven't seen yet. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was like, oh my God, she wrote the Monkey songs.
Wow.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
The power of, and now that you say that, it's so true. When you think about women of music women of the decades, and you don't only think about male bands, you also think about women equally,
But if you
not
think
more.
of it historically and when it really started to get its flow, it's women that really were the backbone of
That's
it,
really fun.
even though men ran the industry.
Yes, they did.
So it's kind
Yes.
of ironic.
That's really neat. That's really neat. And they led, you know, I was listening to something about Joni Mitchell, and they talked about, maybe it was the Grammys, but they were talking about how Joni Mitchell was one of the first women to write lyrics from a different perspective,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
and really the vulnerability, the thoughts, the real thoughts of women, and I
grew
loved
up on
hearing about
Joni
that.
Mitchell music. Joni Mitchell, Carole King, The Fifth Dimension.
Great time, right, for songs.
You know, but I went into the past as well, so
Fun.
definitely Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Washington,
Yeah, Dinah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Sarah Vaughan. Yes, excellent.
because their take and their thought pattern on how you say a lyric, how you write a lyric,
Oh my
the
goodness.
different ways that a lyric can embody the same experience. I've always loved that about music.
My goodness. Yeah, it's music is a beautiful thing.
Now I know that you're going to be at
Obviously.
54 Below tonight
Yes,
because this will
yes.
be showing tonight.
Oh,
But I know you're going to be performing tomorrow, basically
yes,
tonight.
yes.
What's next for you after that?
I actually, like I mentioned, I have a lot of time in April, May, and June. Somewhat, not intentionally. I mean, we take breaks when we're given them, you know.
Right.
Because sometimes you got to go with the flow, and if there's work,
And if you don't go with the flow, it's
yeah,
going to
that's
be
true.
bad on your soul.
That's true. So I do one festival in the April 13th at Berks Jazz Festival out in
nice.
Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm really excited about that. I'll be doing a Women in Jazz, where the first half of the show they're featuring Broadway, and so
nice.
and movies. So one of the songs that I'm doing is actually a tune that I'm doing tonight. By Dionne Warwick. So I'll be doing that
Which
with
one?
like Melba Alfie.
Oh, okay.
Love that. So that's with Melba Moore, Mesa, Althea Renee, a lot of jazz and smooth jazz, but
Nice.
they're honoring Melba Moore, so that'll be fun. Yeah, so, and then it's just writing. Yeah.
2 questions. What artists do you like listening to today? Who is your go-to artist today?
Today's music, that's a really good question. One, I try to stay on top of pop music by just listening
Oh, it's
to,
hard.
going to iTunes and picking, pop playlist and going on a bike ride or whatever, going for my run. And so I just kind of catch up, I did a deep dive into, what's her name? Taylor Swift.
Oh.
A month and a half ago, just purely to listen to her songwriting. I was like, oh, okay, I'm impressed,
Yeah, some of
but
it's
I'm not.
impressive.
It is, the lyric, the story, you can tell that there was an approach that's thoughtful.
The music is kind of all generic, but the lyric itself is
She does,
rather
she
good.
really does a great job. But today's music, I'll listen to, oh gosh, I was just listening to her before I left the house today.
See, but I still listen to Anita Baker.
Well, the songwriter that I'm working with Thursday, after the shows are done, he's used to write for Anita Baker, so I'm looking
I
forward
love
to
her stuff.
co-writing with him. Dreaming Wide Awake was one of her albums.
Oh,
Salt.
yeah.
Why can't I think of her name? But beautiful woman I think she's from North Carolina.
I
or
know
something.
who you're
you know who
talking
I'm talking
about.
about.
I love that. Dreaming Wide Awake is a great song.
Yes, but I kind of go back to like the 90s and the 2000s when it
No,
comes
I
to
still
singers,
do.
But I listen to a lot of singer-songwriters, so like Fiona Apple, or I'll listen to like a
yes.
David Gray, or I'll listen
Yeah.
to Laura Mvula, who's in Europe. I'll listen to Leon Lahavas. So these
Alanis
are like,
Morissette.
wow. That's a good, I need to study her again. It's been a while, there's so much out there. And I don't have a great memory for lyrics, so I always have to, not so much lyrics, but when I study an artist, I kind of take them in, and then I have to go back and listen to them again and again. And then what I like to do is I have a playlist of songs that inspire me to want to write.
Oh,
And so
nice.
I'll go back and I'll listen to a song, and then I'll just write a song based on what I felt, not so
that's
much
nice,
mimicking
though.
a song. But that's
I never thought of doing that. That's a really interesting way to
because
write.
sometimes when you listen to songs, don't you feel like, oh my
They
gosh,
move
I
me.
want to write a song now. I want to write, and
Yes.
so I look forward
Yeah, they do.
to digging those out. Pulling out the playlist.
And my last question, what haven't I asked you that you would like our audiences to know about you?
Oh my goodness. That I hope I can sing for the rest of my life, and that I hope I am always sharing something, that makes people feel good and makes people feel like they want to do more in their life and for themselves, so that they can give to life themselves, to really inspire people to be their best person and to feel so that they can then be their best person. Thank you for that. Thank you.
I look so much forward to seeing your show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
I will be
the
there
I'm
along
inspired.
with Magda,
You-
who is our amazing videographer.
And thank you, Magda. Great to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having
I
me.
appreciate you too.
Thank you.